Hello, this is the biking shaman taking a walk and just wanting to talk to you about something that I have a problem with in ways. Okay, let's talk about it. We are talking about the sacred herb, understanding cannabis and the healing potential. And yes, hello and welcome to today's discussion about a topic that is both deeply controversial and profoundly important. Cannabis, mental health, and its often unrecognized potential as a healing herb. My name is the Viking Shaman, and I'm here to educate and explore the intricate relationship between cannabis and mental health, and the perceptions that surround its use. Now, in a way, it was brought up to me because I've been seeking for some professional help from medical people, and yet where I stood, they thought I was a crazy fuck. You know why? Because I chose to put my man-made chemical Western medications to bed and treat myself with cannabis. Now, I told them I don't have any problems with schizophrenia treating myself with cannabis. So I don't hear nothing, I don't see nothing, there's no thoughts. I'm normal. I'm fucking sleepy, dozy, zombified, fucking batshit shit cunt on the medication, and having to be stuck in the ass muscles every 3 months with injections, which include silver oxide and mercury, as well as being a steroidal based. Now, some people may say that is not true, but paliperidone, the Invega and Trenza injection, it's an injection. They call it the depot, but it's an injection. That they're saying that the help I need is because I need to be on my medication, which is fucking truly wrong. Because since I've been on the cannabis, the sacred herb, in my travels as a shamanic practitioner in Seda, I use it in ritualistic practices and medical use. So they wanted me to go to the drug and alcohol division of the building because, you know, I apparently use drugs and it's not good for me because I have mental health, which is different to to them is different if you had, say, depression or PTSD, you know, or COPD, you know, cancer, seizures, and they think they know better than I do, but fuck, I know just as much, if not more, than them. I'm not going to go more on it, but we'll skip to the next point, eh? So, why is cannabis beneficial to some individuals while potentially harmful to others? At its core, the question brings us to the chemistry of the brain and how different bodies react with the cannabis, or within the cannabis plant. The cannabis plant, or primarily the flower, the buds, because that's what they use. Cannabis contains over 100 different compounds known as cannabinoids. The most researched cannabinoid is among these are the THC cannabinoid, or tetrahydrocannabinol delta 9, the most recent, and CBD, or cannabidiol, THC is the compound that primarily is responsible for the psychoactive effects, what we commonly refer to as getting high. In contrast, CBD has been praised for its therapeutic benefit without the high effect. Now, emphatically, I'm speaking with all concern that it's important to understand that our bodies have an endocannabinoid system, a complex cell signaling system that plays a crucial role in regulating a wide range of functions, including mood, memory, and emotional processing. The way an individual, each person, responds to cannabis can largely depend on how their body interacts with these cannabinoids. For example, some individuals struggling with mental health conditions such as schizophrenia may experience exacerbated symptoms with THC due to increased dopamine activity in the brain. Conversely, others may find relief from their anxiety or depression through low-dose THC or CBD products, or combination of whole spectrum therapeutic administration of the cannabis oil. This dichotomy raises a critical question: is medical segregation at play in our understanding of cannabis and mental health? Here's where our conversation takes a more layered direction. The traditional medical community often employs a more segregated approach, viewing mental health disorders through a lens of pharmacological treatment and diagnosis. However, in cultures that practice shamanism, cannabis is viewed as a sacred herb, one that facilitates connection with the spiritual realm and enhances mental health through holistic practices. These shamanic perspectives invite us to explore cannabis not just as a treatment for symptoms, but as part of a broader spiritual journey towards mental wellness. In indigenous cultures, cannabis has been used for centuries to help individuals heal their minds and connect with their inner selves in a way that traditional medicine often overlooks. But let's delve deeper into the potential of cannabis as a remedy for mental health disorders, particularly with schizophrenia. Preliminary studies suggest that CBD may provide significant therapeutic benefits, supporting neuroprotection and reducing psychotic symptoms, while traditional antipsychotic medications often come with debilitating side effects. CBD appears to offer a safer alternative with few adverse effects, yet this option remains widely underutilized and even stigmatized by the medical community. Now, I'm going to get serious here with this one. Now, I must ask you, why? Why is there such a reluctance to embrace cannabis as a legitimate treatment for mental health and such schizophrenia? Not even touching depression and PTSD. Especially when the data shows for the treatment of mental health disorders that the statistic graph shows promising results. Seriously, it shows results. This hesitation may stem from historical biases and the ongoing stigma surrounding cannabis use. Many practitioners fear losing credibility or simply don't have sufficient training in the therapeutic use of cannabis. Let's talk statistically. Statistics and surveys indicate that many patients experience remarkable improvements in their quality of life when using cannabis. Yet the majority of healthcare providers do not The majority of healthcare providers do not provide information about it as a treatment option. This could be seen as a form of medical segregation, limiting access to those who might benefit the most. And, you know, it's just like any medication, any drug that's used medically. It can be used, it can be abused. Just like McDonald's burgers, fucking hamburgers. You can fucking abuse them cunts. Get fucking bad. Some people should have sued fucking Maccas years ago. But anyway. Now, in reflectiveness, before I wrap up, I want to share a personal story. I once met a young woman who had battled schizophrenia for most of her life. After years of medication that left her feeling numb and disconnected, she turned to cannabis. Initially hesitant, although I encouraged, like, what do you have left? You're already cast out by society, and you know, they just think the more you're asleep, the more you're out of it, the less you can harm yourself and others, when that is not entirely true. Most people think of schizophrenia as being dangerous, but I've gone long ways with living with other people and not knowing that I had schizophrenia or mental health problems until I actually said so. And then on the question, am I dangerous? Should they worry about it? No, because it's been a year and a half since I'd moved in, and nothing like that had happened. I hadn't been on medication, I'd been on cannabis. You know, and I said, if I was dangerous, do you think I'd still be here? Do you think, you know, I'd be best friends type thing? Like, your partner, your husband, he would have known straight up and knew what if I was dangerous. He's a cluey cunt, but, you know, yeah. Anyway, I waffle on here. And she felt disconnected. She turned to cannabis initially, hesitantly. Through careful dosing and guidance, she discovered a sense of calm and clarity that had evaded her for years. And when I mean years, I mean 10, 15 years, you know. Yet when she tried to speak to a psychiatrist about it, she was met with skepticism and concern instead of understanding. He questioned why, and he said that she must be back on her medication. Cannabis is bad, and he could put her forcibly into a mental ward because she is not doing as she agreed to on her mental health plan and taking her medication. But as she proved, not to the doctors but to everybody else, that it isn't the worst thing and it can help. And that's what I had been facing yesterday, you know, trying to, you know, and all I was looking for was to have my restless legs treated with medication, which it badly needs, and that I'm coming because I need help with anger management. As the Viking shaman, sometimes I need outside help to recondition the body, rejuvenate, and renew myself, re-stress, and not be, because negativity is not the answer. So there I am seeking professional help in anger management. I don't say I know everything, but in this case, therefore, I am going to learn something. This is the divide we face between the traditional understanding of medicine and emerging knowledge anchored in personal experiences and alternative practices. Cannabis holds profound potential for mental health treatments, but remains shrouded in skepticism and division. As we continue to navigate the conversation around herbal medicine and mental health, let us advocate for a more inclusive approach, where all forms of healing are given a fair chance, and where no individual's experience is dismissed. Thank you for joining me today on this journey into understanding the therapeutic potential of cannabis. Let's keep the conversation going, because knowledge is the key to breaking down the barriers surrounding mental health, treatment, and the now new emerging medical cannabis. Until next time, stay curious, stay informed, stay lit, and take care. I am the Viking Shaman. Remember to subscribe, share, and like. I'll see you in the next video. I am the Viking Shaman, and I'll see you later.
Okay, we are just pausing the end here before we cut off with the usual ending. I have someone to be interviewed here as a post interview for the video. Just quickly, so you've used medical cannabis.
Yes.
Yes, and what is like the mental health that you have?
Depression, anxiety, PTSD. I was also just recently diagnosed with ASD level 2 and ADHD.
Yep.
I've also got agoraphobia, which is fear of leaving my own home.
Yep. And so how does cannabis help you with that? There's like, okay, how does cannabis help you with agoraphobia?
Well, it makes me a bit more social.
Okay.
To the point where I can actually leave my own home.
So it allows you to leave the house?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, you said that you use medical cannabis to help sleep.
And also as a means to help, like, to deal with my pain and whatnot, because I got exposed ovary endings in the last fight.
Yep.
I had the cortisone injection, which didn't work. Currently on Lyrica, 100 morning and night, but yet the medical cannabis trumps that any day.
Yep. And has your sleeping been affected with mental health at the cannabis or in your mental health?
No, I don't get as many flashbacks and stuff like that due to my traumatic childhood.
Okay, so it
aids in peaceful sleep.
So it actually slows the brain down and in a way sort of numbs it to sort of what traumas you've had where you can deal with it.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not so much of like a scary experience, so to speak. Like Although I could have had that same trauma, nightmares the night before, but I'm able to manage it and like still stay asleep.
Yeah. So Glitter Bugs here, she was on the Western man-made chemical drugs that is, well, can really affect up like the lyrica and that, and
Drug for a sec.
yeah.
And to the point where they've got to be careful because of my medications morning and night that I don't end up with serotonin syndrome.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to bring up, because apparently you're also on mirtazapine as well,
Yes.
along with sertraline.
Yes, I'm on 100 of sertraline, I think it is, or 150 of sertraline in the morning, and I think it's between 15 and 30 depending nightly of mirtazapine.
Yeah, because they are an SRI medication, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that would cause serotonin imbalances, serotonin syndrome.
Yep.
That could be dangerous. And how would you say, how do you really need it when now you've been on medical cannabis?
Well, going just over a month without any medication at all, and like given what was going on in my own personal life, I will disclose I was self-harm and thinking other thoughts. But in saying that, with the medical cannabis, it like stopped all those thoughts. And same as my anger and stuff like that, like it's non-existent with it.
Okay.
The calm.
Yep. And now and there's because you are of the magical kind, you're one of us in a way. How does medical cannabis affect your way or practice, your way of life in your everyday life, with like rituals and keeping your practices up?
Well, when you think about it, cannabis is a natural plant, right? Yeah.
Yes, it is. It is natural.
It comes from the earth,
Yes.
which is from the All Mother.
Yes.
Right.
And the Bible bashing God did say He gave all seed-bearing plants for us to consume.
Yep, that's it. Rather than smoke all these things over the counter. But anyway, it gives me more of a, like, more level-headed, so to speak.
Yeah.
Without a million one thoughts running through my mind.
Okay. Because I mentioned this in a previous video quite a while back. I'd mentioned methamphetamine use, ice use in my magical practice. Now, I'm not saying anything in the ways, but you have used it, haven't you?
Yes,
And
I have. I'm not going to deny that.
how does it affect you when practicing your beliefs? Like
I don't have...
in a way, like I actually call glitter bugs type of stuff voodoo magic, because it is so different to Sado and that, and just what I've seen her do, just amazing. So
Something's lost. I'll go find it. And as it said, voodoo magic. What voodoo magic? I just find things. I'm a seeker.
So how do you tend that kind of smoke affects you? And I'm not talking about like, does it affect you negatively, or does it? Was it positive?
It's positive.
It's positive. Yeah.
I don't like have the fear of I've got to hold back. I can be myself. Like I'm a white lighter.
Yeah.
Which is the higher form, and I don't hold back. Like even using my divination board for the first time, like, I was a skeptic, and actually using it with your guidance, of course.
Yes, and actually, in fact, in that time, you did have a smoke on the glass pipe, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
And did that cause any harm in the spiritual realms?
No.
No.
I've been able to get done what's needed to be done. Same as helping out, say, friends, family that have things going on really negatively in their lives. Let's just say, how do you put it? Like their dwelling, maybe there's someone that's not supposed to be there.
Yep.
But spiritually, or they're being haunted somehow.
Yep.
I've been able to, while being under the influence, I've been able to better help them.
Yeah.
And cover all my bases.
Yep.
And yes, where there has been my bloodshed because my boy's involved in my mum.
Yep.
The disclosure just there, but in saying that, it doesn't affect me negatively. Being ADHD,
Yep.
it's the concentration there.
Okay, so
Like even doing this video now.
So it's been used as medication in the same way they use like Ritalin on children as young as 6.
Yes. Which I don't believe in.
Which is a like a pharmaceutical version of it.
Or dexamphetamine.
Yes. So
again, amphetamine.
Yes. So and again, it is Ritalin and dexamphetamine is methamphetamine. It is a stimulant. It is a drug the same way as what we call ice.
But the government approves of it.
Yes, and that's what I was going to say. Just like medical cannabis, stopping people from using medical cannabis when they have mental health problems, they stop you from using this one because it's very bad for you, because you go from the plugger down the road here. And,
it's cheaper than going online, just saying.
He charges you about, say, maybe $400 for a half, or anyway, that's what I'm just saying here as an example. But what's the difference between going to the chemist and getting it when it does exactly the same thing? Now,
well, that way you can take it as you want it, not as you have to, like as it is. With me doing it the way I do, in the morning I take 8 tablets.
Yeah.
And then lunchtime is between, say, 2 and 3, and then nighttime is 5.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is, they don't want to legalize it, or they hadn't talked to legalize it, but they don't want to actually legalize it because it could be a problem to the community if it is. But where is that problem when they said the exact same thing about medical cannabis? The only thing they're saying now about medical cannabis is that someone like me who have mental health problems should be a no-no, you don't touch it, but compared to the other blokes here, who has depression and PTSD, they go, yes, you may have it. What's the difference?
ASD, I don't know how that works.
Yeah, so that's what I'm getting at with this interview here.
Something that's used to slow the brain.
Yeah, something that helps me. It doesn't always help everybody. It may not always help someone like
it depends on the strain, whether it's Sadabar or Indica.
But yeah, but it's the same thing. Her doctors know she's using it, but in medical cannabis, and they say it's fine, it's safe in moderation, but she's using it.
Can I just raise something here?
Yeah.
Speaking of the doctors and everything, like the incident with the police. When I questioned the officer, I said to him, you wouldn't believe I was on the influence right now, would you? And he turned around, no, I would never pick it. Well, there you go.
Yeah, but it's just like methamphetamine can have some good uses in moderation, as I said, as I explained earlier in the video with medical cannabis. You can abuse the drug just like you can abuse fucking cheeseburgers, like McDonald's.
You can abuse water.
You can abuse water. You can die from water if you drink too much. But the fact is the doctors allow her to smoke that. They allow her to smoke weed. But someone who's me, who uses it not recreationally, but medically, and in the recreational form of ritual use, because it is the sacred herb, is a touch no. And then you take in that if I was to smoke the methamphetamine, the ice, it becomes worse. But then really, it's not. It just. How are you in a way? Are you an addictive personality type of person, or it can be abused? Anyway, what I'm just getting here is the 2 types of drugs. Those being used medicinally, but it's easier for me to smoke one and then go to the drug and alcohol clinic because I've had too much. But if I touch the funny lettuce, the devil's lettuce, weed, I can go to jail and I can go to mental ward and that because someone like me is not supposed to have it. And that's where I'm getting at with the medical segregation and the difference between what could be used as medications, if controlled properly, than to be abused like most people do.
have they actually done case studies where, like, people such as yourself, right, with the medical cannabis,
Yes, they have.
with any other recreation, yeah, but, okay, someone with your exact diagnosis and your triggers and everything else,
Yes,
your lifestyle?
statistically and analytically, it shows that there is an understanding and there is evidential proof that it does work. But
It's beneficial.
it is in a beneficial way in medicine. But just like I may be able to handle ibuprofen, you may not be able to handle ibuprofen. Just in the way you might be able to have Nurofen, but I can't have Nurofen.
Yeah.
That's how it is. And the doctors, as I said earlier in the video, the doctors are keeping us like this because they are you can't have it. Then they're disregarding the evidential proof and analytical statistics and graphical evidence that it does have some kind of use in a beneficial way. That is not for everybody.
Why don't we all show support for our brother or sister and back them where it comes to the medical side with, like, people such as yourself, like, you know I've got your back.
Yeah.
You've got my full support with it, and where it comes to the medical cannabis, I'm all for it with you. It's your calm.
Yeah.
If I can't be there to calm you down, and I know that I can get you some cannabis at least, then, I mean, that's better than having to go off.
Yeah. Well, anyway, thank you, Glitter Bugs, for coming to do the interview. Nice for you to be on camera.
Nice talking to you.
It is, as it is, I'm gonna reiterate and stay lit, stay happy, stay magical, and, you know, this is it. Bye.